Introduce everything, just get you right. You got anything special? You got anything? You want to call you anything special?
I got one special nickname.
I was say it's just the other one.
I got one special nickname. I guess it's been special since they gave it to me.
Definitely.
All right, here we go. Do something. And it's the summer.
We back.
This Marlon Lowe.
You got Mo Elrod.
And it's Mr. Pugh.
Come on, man.
Man, we gonna let Pugh get that. Mr. Pugh, we gotta get to the main dude that's in the building right now. We got Rafer Alston, aka Skip to My Lou, New York legend, playground legend.
What's up, man?
The original.
Happy to be on here with y'all, man.
The original Dandada. The original Dandada. For all you kids out there, listen, y'all look at all these mixtapes nowadays. You see this, you see that. Y'all Googling this, Googling that. Rafer, if you don't know, because most of y'all don't look at history, he is
That's
the
a shame.
original. Like the N1 mixtape, the first one, it was based upon this guy right here. So if you're listening, or if you got that app and you're viewing, this is my man.
Indeed, indeed.
No doubt about it. That's the reason why I started watching the N1 mixtapes.
And
I was in high school. That was 12, 13 years ago.
I get that a lot, and it makes me, it lets me know how old I am.
That was some VH1 tapes.
That's right.
Yeah,
I threw a tournament. I was throwing tournaments back in the days, right? And what people don't know is when I had the tournament was called the Grand Finale. N1 sent me mixtapes for every kid that participated in our event back in the days. From the first volume 1, 2, 3, and we kind of fell out at the third one, or they fell off.
I still got every last one of them.
You have to
Now, obviously,
you have to keep them.
Yeah, I got the VHS, all of them.
But you
still
were
to this
there.
day.
That's the one thing they can't take away from you. You were right there with us. I mean, through the good, bad, and the indifferent.
Yeah, no
there was
doubt.
some indifferent times and different people.
It was. It definitely was.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the beginning, man. Like, we had Gary Charles on, and he spoke highly of you. So there were times where, like, he would have to come and get you. Y'all would have a game. Like, man, we got to go get this dude, man. Where Rafe at? And you'd be on the corner shooting dice.
Listen, man. One thing about it, the good thing about Gary Charles in that story is he knew who to come get him to win that game. So that's the one thing I can take away from that. It's like, you know what? I feel special, Gary. I feel special, Gary.
Now, how old were you at that time?
Man, I was like 16. 15. It's in between that 15, 16, 17-year-old range.
So at that age, 15, 16, you were considered a legend in the neighborhood?
Man, before my time. I was definitely before my time, and I, at that age, you don't really think much of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still figuring out and meeting the legends that were already considered legends in New York City. I'm still trying to meet the Pee Wee Kirklands and the Earl Manigos and
Earl Manigo.
all these guys. And yet and still at the age of 16, I want to say they may put out there that I'm that guy as a legend, and so. When my friends and I are going to these games, these summer tournaments in New York, I'm like, all these people are hanging on fences. I'm walking the park, they just yelling, "Oh, he's here!" And I'm sitting there like, "Yo, I'm just coming to play a game. I can't wait to get back to my neighborhood." I really, I'm from Queens, New York. Most of the times we might have played with Manhattan, Harlem, Brooklyn, the Bronx. So I'm a guy. I'm like, man, I just want to get back around the way and do the around the way stuff. Unfortunately, I wasn't. And shouldn't be doing the things I was doing, for gambling on the street corner and stuff like that. But when you grow up in the inner city, those are the things you're doing. I mean, all your peers are doing, and I fell victim to those things.
Man, it's like the very first time I seen the mixtape. I wasn't there at that time. This was my I was definitely in high school. I mean, you had to go to the store to try the shoes on, and just to show just to get the mixtape, and that. 10 minutes, man, I watched that shit a million times.
But the only way you watch it many times is your tracking had to be good on your VH1. Like, if you didn't have good tracking, if your tracking was good on your VCR, you had to go back and buy a whole new shoe and get a whole new tape.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Now, Skip, check this out. First, couple things. First, who gave you your nickname?
Duke Tango. These are two guys who were doing the Rucker lead. They were the commentary for Rucker. And they gave me a nickname. They gave everybody a nickname. And our nicknames stick with us. And I had no idea this was gonna stick with me the rest of my life, but they gave it to me.
Now, how'd you feel about when they first called you Skip?
Actually, the first thing they gave me was the Energizer. Because when I was 15, I was playing out there. Rucker at that time, when I was 15, it was still an adult league. Guys were 25 and older playing. So when I'm out there, I sub in. And I was the guy, I subbed off the bench a lot when I was my first year playing. So I sub in. I would just get right to work. Cross somebody over, I dish the ball, somebody dunk it, and they all coming into the game, the Energizer, and everybody like, yeah, there's a little kid. Then the following year was when there was no more subbing into the game. I'm on the court with the starters, and I'm doing my deal. And they changed it. When I came down to the move, it was 3-on-1 break. I just let the ball bounce. I'm skipping. I was just trying to lure the defender to go for the ball. He went for the ball, and I wrapped it around my back and threw it to my teammate. He just caught it and dunked it. And he was like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new nickname for the Energizer. And it just took off like wildfire.
And there it is. The legend has begun.
Wildfire, man.
So you remember that play?
No, definitely. Those finals, I remember a lot of those games in town back then. I mean, when you're a basketball player, I remember a lot of my games in the NBA, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Now, talk about your matchups with the legend, and rest in peace, man, Ali Mo.
It's funny, we've been matching up against each other since 10 years old.
Wow.
We've been playing in leagues in New York since we were 10, and we'll go at it since 10. We played against each other in high school. We beat them. I think I had 32. We beat them in high school. It was a Thanksgiving Classic, and we beat them in that. And so this was ongoing. And every summer while we were in high school, we played against each other in Rucker, different leagues around Harlem, and we would always battle each other. I mean, and one thing about him and I, it was just basketball battles. I've had battles with some other people, and they would try to take it past the basketball and want to take it off the court. But again, that's New York City. Yeah. But Alamo was tremendous talent. We were supposed to go to Fresno State together. And I remember, coming back home when I was in the NBA, and he would always say, "Man, I regret not going with you." Coach Talk had came to Rucker, and he watched both of us play. He said, "Man, you two guys are what I need to come to Fresno State."
Now, the first time I saw you, but this is before the mixtapes. I'm a huge Slam magazine connoisseur.
Definitely that.
Huge. I was at the crib trying to look for. I'm like, damn, where's this magazine at? Because I have a lot of old classic stuff, and it said the best point guard you never heard of. And I'm like, I'm from Chicago. I'm at the crib, and I'm looking at like, who was this dude? Fresno State. Where's Fresno State? You know what I'm saying? And you was on the cover of the magazine.
It blew my mind. Till this day, it blew my mind. Ronnie Zidell was the guy who pushed for me to be on the cover. Ronnie Zidell, I went to Cardozo High School in New York City, Queens, New York, and Ronnie Zidell went to this high school years before I got there. So when he heard I was going there, and the coach Ron LeClaire told him, "Listen, I got a dynamite point guard coming to my school, man." And he came to watch me play. He agreed, man. This kid is dynamite. You fast forward a few years after the mixtape was released, I guess something like that. I was coming out of junior college, going to Fresno State. And that summer, we were billed to be that class coming into Fresno State. Myself, Chris Herron, Winfred Walton, Terrence Roberson, Tremaine Folks, Avondre Jones. We were billed as that we were coming in ranked like top 10. Mm-hmm. And Ronnie Zidell pushed the Slam editors and everyone, the owner, to listen. You got to put this guy in the cover. He called me, said they're not going to do it. I'm like, I don't think they would do it either. I'm not Iverson. I'm not Garnett. I'm not these guys or Kobe Bryant that should be on this cover. And they went with it. And till this day, Ronnie says, man, he couldn't believe that that cover did well. The editors, the people that come, they thought it was going to be bad. This is going to be bad for them. This is going to take the Slam magazine company probably down a notch. Yeah. Because this is God is unheard of. All he's known for is a street ball. But yet they didn't understand at that time the height of street ball at that time. Right. And the following street ball had.
Mm-hmm. Because the beauty of it at that time too was, unlike today, if I want to type in a kid's name, I just type into the internet.
Right.
We didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So when I saw you on the cover, I don't know where Fresno State is at. I don't know who you are. You ain't in the NBA. Like, who is this dude? And
the good thing is what helped it out too. People don't understand.
Yeah.
God bless his soul too. Is that I'm going to play for Jerry Tarkanian. So it's kind of like, okay, he's going to play for this legendary coach.
No doubt.
All right, who had Larry John State's army. So wait, it's got to be something behind this. And you said the right thing. They had to take Ronnie Zardell's word for it.
His word.
See, and it wasn't like he had tons of footage.
Yeah,
so
right.
like I said, we didn't have internet. I think it's probably the first year of cell phones. You know, for real. I think we were coming out of that beeper stage into the cell phone era. So
Right.
I remember the big gray flip phone, looked like you had a big house phone on your ear. And they had to go with word of mouth. It was
Right.
word of mouth.
Now, all that's history. I want to kind of go back. We skip way forward. I want to go back to the beginning before the Energizer, before Skip to My Lou. You know what I mean?
Right.
When did you start playing basketball?
Oh, basketball came into my life five years old. Probably before. I can remember back as far as 5. You know, I'm amazed that people can remember when they was 2. But now I remember back as 5. And growing up in Queens, New York, there was parks and playgrounds everywhere, and it was no big deal about letting your 5-year-old or 6-year-old walk to the park with everyone else.
No doubt.
You know, nowadays
Can't do that
you can't let your kid walk to the corner without walking somebody, or better yet, he's not going to the corner. But now where we come from, it was no big deal. So going to the park every day in the summertime was huge for all of us. Everything happened in the park, and I started playing basketball. Then I realized how to, imitate or emulate the things that I'm watching and seeing. And that's what happened to like myself and my friends. We all did the same thing every day, and that was being in the park.
And so check this out. So that's what I'm saying. Why you saying you emulating? Because I'm going back to that. I'm thinking, Rafer, when I look and I think Skip to My Lou, right? And you and I, we in the gym a little bit still together, and your handle, like, is sick,
Still crispy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My jump shot, not to cut Marlon off. People asked me the other day, I was in the gym, people asked me, man, you still got game? I said, I might not have all my game, but one thing about this basketball, I got it on a string.
hey, he was whipping that thing. I sit back laughing like, oh, jeez, okay. So, was there somebody in specific when you did you start just working on your handle? Did you see somebody do something? He's like, yo, I need that in my game.
I watched people do things. That was the main thing. Is I watched. We always have people help you. You know, I had people come pick me up, even at 6, 7 years old, put me in little tournaments and stuff. But the park was still something I look forward to going to.
Yeah.
So I would come back from playing these little tournaments with these guys, and then I'm, man, please get me back to the park, because that's where you would see some of the most exciting and passionate plays made.
Wow.
And that was my thing. Like, people play with so much passion, so much flair for the game. That was the thing. They had so much flair. The behind the neck, the spin moves, and I was like, man, I gotta get that. And the only way I can get it is when they left the floor, when they left the court, which is probably about 7 p.m. And I could go in there and see what I could do, against my friends. And we all did the same thing.
That's right. See, and that's like you say, that the ironic part about that is the fact that that's how most of us growing up did it. We all hooped it with each other. We saw older guys do something, and then as soon as they left, let me work on this. Or as you walk into the park with the ball, you're like, you doing. But you got some little bit more creativity than just the average dude, man.
Well, a lot of, believe it or not, I stay with that era, that age group. We're fortunate in New York growing up. Maybe not now, the young kids. We were fortunate growing up. I can go to the park and watch a guy like Boo Harvey. People probably don't remember that name. Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland, Vern Fleming. These are dudes that I can see in the park
every day.
And I'm like, wow, I wanna do what they do. And then when you find out who those guys are, no, I wanna be like those guys. They're right here in my backyard. They come from the same confines I come from. So those are the guys I'm going to be like. Even though I could see Magic Johnson on TV, Isaiah Thomas, all those guys, you would love to be an NBA guy, but no, I want to be like those guys. But then we had local heroes. A guy named Ice, or named BJ.
Yeah.
I want to be like Ice and BJ. Ice is nice.
Right.
So it was so much basketball going on in New York that just the local dude around the way, you wanted to be like him.
It's funny.
And he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I think Ron Artest aka Meta World Peace, was on TNT. And someone said, man, who's your favorite player? And he said, man, Scooney from my C building. Like, said something random.
It was funny.
It was hilarious. He just said Kobe.
I went to Alamo's funeral.
Yeah.
And it was a big, nice funeral. I go outside. You know, there's a lot of playground legends. And we all just mixing them in outside. I'm looking, I'm like, man. A guy walks up, I said, man, before you even start talking to everybody, I said, man, I used to want to be like you. I used to always want to electrify this crowd. His name was the Dancing Doogie. So I'm like, yeah, that was his name. And I remember it was 1987, 88, summertime, those summer days. And I'm like, man, I would find my way to the front of Rucker Park. I was a little kid. I would find my way to the front and I kneel down. I'm like, man, I don't care if people step on me because I got to see Dancing Doogie do his dance on them and score. And I wanted to electrify the whole crowd like Dancing Doogie.
There it is.
And that's what happened. So I had told him that. He couldn't believe it. Well, I told a friend of his that. So and then we finally, outside the funeral, his friend says, "Skip, come here, the dude's right here." I said, "You tell him what I told him." He said, "Man, dudes couldn't believe what he heard." And the reason he couldn't believe because I ended up being this NBA player, this playground legend. And he's like, "Man, no way you wanted to be like me." I'm like, "Man, I wanted to do
Dancing Doogie.
Dancing Doogie."
Yeah, and there it is. Now see, like that right there, that's special to me. You know what I mean? That's special because a lot of guys right now, who do they look up to? Who do they emulate? Because most of the time, all they doing is training nowadays. They just training. They not hooping.
They're not playing enough.
You know
They don't play enough basketball. The only time they're gonna get in the gym is when they either have a workout or practice or maybe a game. Again, to their credit, let's all be honest about it. If we were in their shoes in this day and age, everything they had back then, we had that back then. Do you think we'll be playing a lot? And my answer to everybody is no, we wouldn't.
Probably not.
No doubt.
And we had iPad, iPhone, iPod, all the gadgets on TV, so much technology. I mean, we can go a step further about some of this. I call those distractions to their game. You know, that's just technology. What about when they go to school? Teachers is having sex with students now. Some of the young girls is 15 talking about they going both ways. So it's so much distraction to these kids now that they're so gone as far as putting in the time and training on their craft. See, we didn't have all that.
That's
You
real.
know what I'm saying? We were happy to have a beeper in which we turned on and off in front of people to make it like somebody pays us. But no one really pays you. We just fronting in front of the girls. Yo, we turn it off, turn it on. When you turn it back on, oh, man, I gotta go to the payphone. You know what I mean? Because you had to have a quarter to go to the payphone. You know,
No doubt.
So, you know, we just showing our age on this episode.
I need you to send me this page in 30 minutes.
Yeah, yo, listen.
Hit
If
me.
you don't talk to me, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna call you, and look, I'm not gonna say nothing. But that's just the way it was.
And then we got creative with start being able to spell words.
Ooh, remember hello?
Oh, no, not just that, but that 304 turn up. Oh,
Yeah.
That's all we had.
Hey, look, the best thing about all that is we here for the evolution of technology. Man.
Oh,
no
Come
doubt,
on.
no doubt.
We went from house phone to pager to big cell phone to now everything, man. You could talk on your watch. That's a phone now.
Straight up.
How about that?
We here for all the
Star
evolution
Trek
of technology.
The Star Trek generation. So, Rafe, do you remember the first time you played an official basketball game? Like for a school? Did you play, like in New York, for example, can you play try for the school in 7th grade? You can play elementary. See?
Yeah, I remember playing. I remember it's funny, man. I got with the dad again. Some tough things going on in New York City. My gym teacher was the coach from an elementary school, and I was in 4th grade, and he was coaching the team, and he was only like, man, I'm only taking 5th and 6th graders. I'm sitting like, whatever, Mr. Vaughn, God bless his soul. And I'm like, man, whatever. These dudes, they're not like me. Anyway, we'll see. I said, yeah, coach, do you ever have a tryout or things like that? You know, because even at that age of 4th grade, and at that age, you know what trying out is. We in New York City, you find out all this early young age when it comes to basketball, because basketball's everything that's there. And he had a little try, and I'm dogging these dudes, and I'm like, listen, I bet that 5th and 6th grade stuff is pretty much out the window. I didn't use those words, but I nodded at him like, you know what's up. You know what's up. And, and I was on the team. 4th grade. We're playing against other public schools, and I'm just dogging these kids, and then my 6th grade, it was a no-brainer. I was the man of that team. Back then, you weren't going to middle school at 6th grade back then.
Right.
We were for you like first 1 through 6 was one school, and then 7, 8, 9 was the middle school. Middle school in New York. But you could leave after your 8th grade if you qualified for high school. And that's what happened to me. I left my middle school after the 8th grade, so I was in 9th grade at high school, and I was on the varsity team.
So you had this kind of bravado. I'm thinking 4th grade. I was kind of like a chill, kind of quiet dude.
No,
in 4th grade you had the bravado.
No. I was chill, but when it came to the basketball, it's like
Bro, so now
don't tell me that these dudes are better than me. And that was again it's coming from where we grow up. It's coming from where we grow up at. And you weren't going to be able to, you weren't going to be able to be in a court, you weren't going to be able to play in the park if you didn't have that confidence and that little arrogance about you, because again, people understand. I try to explain this to everybody, like, basketball is everything that's in New York. People aren't playing football and baseball at those ages.
No doubt.
You might play a little Pop Warner, but you wasn't serious about it.
Yeah.
You only doing it because, okay, it's a Pop Warner team in the neighborhood. Y'all want to play, okay, I'll do it. But you weren't doing it. I played Little League, but I would, when they got, like, after we got to the playoff, the coach like, hey, y'all want to try out for the Little League All-Star team? Now we done. We're going basketball starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the way it was. Basketball's everything.
So let's talk about this. Let's balance this out a little bit. When did you start hitting that block? How old were you when you started hitting that block and being like, look, I'm out all night basically. I'm kicking it.
At 12 years old.
12?
12 years old, 12, 13. That's when, you start, life, reality hits you face on. Those are the things that we're faced with, again, going in the city. Like, he's from Chicago, so, you guys know.
Yeah.
We.
Oh, I didn't know you was from Chicago. Okay, cool. But that's something you can't be quiet about, man.
Exactly.
I'm not ashamed.
Especially in this day and age, what's going on in Chicago. You can't be quiet about this.
Definitely not ashamed.
But no,
that's why
at 12 or 13 years old, man, the reality hits you in the face, and your dad done left the house, and you can see your mom and them like struggling. You realize, hey, look, the only way we gonna eat and put clothes on our back and do something is we gotta get out here and
get it.
Right or wrong, we gotta do what we have to do, man. And that was the balancing act for me, man. Trying to juggle being in the streets and playing ball and going to school. And then I realized you can't do both.
And you had a mean dice game.
The dice games was
serious.
Man, it was serious. That's what played me from. I was always ineligible. My junior, senior year, I pretty much didn't play because of being absent from school, gambling in the school. Security. I went back to my old school not too long ago, and the same security guard's still there, man, which is amazing after all these years. And he said, man, I'm still kicking kids like you off the staircase. I said, hey, it worked out for me in the long run.
No doubt.
But please get them off the staircase and let them know that that's not the route to go.
Favorite dice game? What y'all play?
CeeLo, 3 dice in New York.
3 dice, yeah.
We'll play craps, but CeeLo's our big thing in the East Coast.
CeeLo.
And that's why I asked, because I'm just a craps guy.
Yeah, we'll play some craps. We actually I tell everybody we play craps better in New York than most places, because we're not gonna sit there and take a straight bet on our 4s and 10s. Nah, you're gonna give us 2-1. Our 5 and 9s, you have to play the odds. And that's how we play the game, how it should be played. See, like in the other city, in some city, if I throw a 5, the only thing they're gonna try to say is, oh, you want to bar the 5? Like, no, I don't want to bar the 5. No, you're straight 5 or 5 to 9. No, I want you to lay 150 to my 100, and I'll make this 5. And that's how we play.
For y'all listening, you can
dice.
Rewind that. You might have to go back.
Here's some dice education right here.
Might have to go back on that one.
Yeah, we ain't talking about Monopoly dice, baby. We talking about them things, them hard ones, baby. Hey, shoot the 5, bet the 10. Hey, but no, that's an interesting concept right there. All through all that, I mean, as far as your life and how you came up now. Tell me this from a personal perspective. How was your family involved with your basketball?
Unfortunately, not very involved, man. Again, my dad was strung out on drugs. My dad passed away recently. He was strung out on drugs. My mom had to work tired, like just around the clock. And, myself, my sister, my brother, we had to really almost fend for ourselves.
How was you living? Y'all living in
You're the youngest.
four bedroom?
Man, we lived in 1 bedroom with 4 or 5 of us, 1 bedroom apartment. Man, it is what it was, and it is what it is. And we had to do what we had to do. Again, Biggie Smalls said it correct. You had a wicked jump shot, or you was slinging crack rock, and that's what we did, man. And we don't glorify it. We did it to survive. You know, people don't understand. There's some people doing it to be Scarface. Some people doing it, man. Some of us was doing it to put a meal in our stomach. Make sure we had a coat to wear because it's winter time up here. You know, some of us is doing it for the necessities.
Brick,
we're not doing it to try to be the biggest kingpin. Nah, we just trying to make it to the next day. You know, and people don't understand that. Like, man, we was just happy to get a few dollars so we can go buy each other something to eat, put a pair of boots on our feet because it's too cold, and just make it to the next day.
What was y'all wearing? What boots was y'all wearing?
Every Timberland was big from in the mid '80s.
The beef and broccoli.
Those didn't come to form until the beef and broccoli didn't come to form until about, I want to say 89, 90ish. Those didn't really hit, but you know, when like I said, the years I'm talking about, that's when he had the 40 belows. You saw you saw Tupac wearing juice.
Yeah.
The 40 belows was big. You know, stuff like that was big, man. The Chuckers, Timberland Chuckers, the 3/4. I mean, the mid ones. We had Timberland moccasins, the shoe kind.
Yeah.
One thing about it, we was gonna get us some clothes. We was gonna be fly. Yeah, we was gonna live. We live in a rat hole, but we gonna be fly in this rat hole.
Hey,
now, talk about the different style of play between each borough, because it's obviously all different.
No, the game, basketball, it's gonna end up. It depends who you are. It's gonna be the same kind of. You know, we all gonna play that flair and that passion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Bronx. The Bronx had guys come out. You had the Ross Stricklands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Walter Berries and all that. You know, we had the Mark Jacksons and the Kenny Andersons, Kenny Smiths. So they styles was pretty much kind of the same. You look at them, you know, they just knew how to handle that ball, pass that ball, and they just had an IQ of the game.
See, I always thought that the Brooklyn dudes was supposed to be much more grittier and tougher.
No, that's the lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
So you're talking about the lifestyle. The lifestyles are different.
Okay.
Harlem is more flashier, fly.
Yeah.
They think they invented that. Brooklyn is gritty. They more about that fighting, that sticking up stuff. So is the Bronx at that time. You know, South Bronx. In Queens, we were more in between it all. You know, we want to be fly one minute, we want to be gritty and grimy one minute. So it's the lifestyle, the people were in the boroughs are different.
So people, you always were mindful of where you was
All
going.
the time.
But now when you got the name Skip to My Lou, did that give you a pass? To be
No. Growing up, you still mindful of where you playing ball at,
right?
Because when they get wind that you're from Queens, you playing the tournament in Brooklyn. Oh, all hell breaks loose. They don't want you to get the best of their favorite player or their guy. We got in fights. We got chased to the subway, but that's just how it was, you know. And I remember I'm in the Bronx and we only had 6 players, and the whole time we warmed up, we hit a crowd and they like, man, y'all about to get kicked, you know. They want to say using that word, but they like, man, you know, you about to get this, that, and the third. We smoking these guys with 6 players. We smoking them, and one of us went to the basket hard and they fouled us, and then the dude fouled me. I looked at my team and I said, listen, man, y'all better we gonna get the running out of here. Why Skip? Listen, man, this dude fouled me again like that, man. I'm just swinging. I'm just letting you know. We got to grab ourselves, and sure enough, that's what happened, man. It just so happened, we ran out that building and had to get to that subway. The train was coming at the same time. So we was able to hop the turnstile. We didn't pay our fare. We had to hop the turnstile, and that train was coming. We got to get on that train while they all chased us, and that train took off. And the whole ride from Bronx to Queens, they all looking at me like, man, Skip, you stupid. Listen, man, I wasn't taking another foul. I wasn't taking another foul like that, man.
Yeah.
Just because we kicking their butt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot of story, but it's just people didn't want another borough getting the best of their borough. That's just the way it was.
That's that pride, man.
They didn't want that. And I'm talking about people that they're not even playing the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They in the crowd talking trash. It's different if I'm playing against you and you feel I'm getting the best of you and I did a cheap shot at you and you want to get it on. That's different. But you talk people in the crowd want to get it on. So it's like, man,
Yo, Boogie, get his ass back, Boogie, get him. Oh fuck, hold on, Boogie, go back.
That's how it
They
was.
coming at you, huh? We ain't having that.
I remember one time in Rucker, we got to a brawl with all like Kareem Reed, all these dudes, the Harlem dude. We got to a big brawl, like police. And I'm gonna tell you about this brawl. At this time with Rucker, when I was playing, I got the big main attraction of it. people were stopping their day to come out. Like people were hanging off the tree, hanging on top of buildings, hanging on the bridge to watch the play.
The environment.
You know what I mean? They were doing all like every day. Like I didn't know them. Like man, they to me they crazy. But now I look at it now, I'm like man, I captured the hearts of people back then. But back then, as a 15, 16-year-old kid, I'm like man, y'all crazy. I ain't hanging no bridge. I'm not standing on no top of no roof to look at nobody play. I don't care if Jordan come out here. If I miss it, I missed it. It's like, nah, I'm not missing this. They're not missing skits.
It's a place to be.
So, you know, police out there, like, listen, this park's capacity. They standing everywhere. They everywhere. Police is out there. And then we get into a melee on the court, and guess who runs first?
The police
took off. Like, hey, y'all kill yourselves.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, yo, I never saw nothing like this. Y'all kill yourselves. We getting out of here. And that's what happened. That's what happened in Rucker Park one day, man.
Harlem.
So man, look. Speaking of Rucker Park, we're gonna take a quick break, right quick, because we gotta, you know, try to make sure we give some respect and pay some bills. You know how it is. You know, everybody's got to do that, unfortunately. But think about this, because Mo likes me to ask questions after we come back, and so I want to ask you this question until we come back.
All right, gotcha.
I was wondering if you was going to go into
No, I'm going to tell them don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's good shit. You said, hey, y'all jumped it. The train, the timing on that shit. Hey,
It was just. I didn't know. It was just.
was on a
It was
movie.
just.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was on
just.
a movie.
It was. It's crazy because my homeboy, he was in town. He flew out yesterday. You know, and I tried to give him the stats. I said, man, stay till Friday. I gotta go at 97.5. I do it every Thursday morning from 10 to 11. And then I remember he always told me to come on the podcast. I'm like, man, because he always wants to start a podcast. I'm like, oh, come on the podcast so you get what you want to do. And if he was here, he was on my team. Because he was all city. My homeboy, he was all city in New York, man. He was scoring like 40 points, 35 points a game. If he was here, he'd have took one of them and said, man, listen, Ray was a jerk that day, man. Almost cost us our lives. I said, man, almost cost our lives, man. They throwing elbows at us, all this stuff, man. I can't, you can take one or two.
Yeah.
But the next one, plus we got about 20. We don't have nothing to lose. This game is in the hand.
Game is over.
This game is in hand. So listen, bro. The next dude do something. I'm just swinging. Just make sure we get it. Cause our bench was by the door. So listen. I knew one thing that was planned was I knew when to hit him and when to hit him. Cause I knew I was waiting till we get to the court that's by our bench in that door. Bop. And the whole crowd was saying, get them niggas. Man, yo, listen, y'all better come on. And we hopped that turnstile and that train just happened to be coming like, oh, this is perfect. Come on, y'all. And they closed that door. They always say, please stand clear of the closing door. They said that. Ding, dong, boom. And you see all them dudes out there. Yeah. Oh, we on our way to Queens, but it's a long ride to Queens.
When did you finally go back to that park?
But you know what I did it against dudes we knew too.
Yeah,
Like we played. You know what? Who was on that
Every
team?
day.
You know who was on that team? Cameron, Mace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we all played ball. They wasn't no rappers and none of that stuff then.
Oh,
We
wow.
all moved.
Now see, that's.
But they was from Harlem, we was from Queens, so they not about to take them, man.
Hold right, fuck that. We about to talk about that part. We about to say about who was on that team.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna say that was my question. So tell me who was on this team when you ran. Y'all was in Harlem.
We was in the Bronx, but that team was a Harlem. That was a Harlem team we played. I forget the name of their team at the time.
Probably Harlem World.
I don't even know which dude I hit. Yeah. 2 days later, we see him another time. We all cool. Yo, what's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Good game.
What's up?
Just tripping in the stands.
That same thing happened in the high school game. Some things happen, man.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Bring it back.
Bingo. We back in here.
Yes.
It's fire, though. It's hot up in here.
Yeah.
So Ray, before we left, I wanted to ask you this question. So you hit them, y'all ran, you got on the train. Do you remember anybody that was on that team? Do y'all communicate? Anybody was on that team? How they go down?
Man, my friends was on the other team. Let's be clear. It was Cameron, Mace. They were on that team. We were friends. The rappers, Cameron and Mace. Like they my buddies. Those are my friends. Those my buddies. But we were, like I said, we were 14, 15 years old. Teenagers acting like teenagers. And That's what happens one of them days, man.
Cameron had a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron could play. Mace had game.
Yeah.
Mace had game. Like I'm saying, it was listen, basketball is in your blood when you were born and raised in New York City. So those two things, they were on traveling teams. Like they travel, like they were on our team. Like whenever Stephon Marbury's on one of our teams and we travel, we'll go. Actually, traveled to Chicago when we were kids. They had this tournament called Small Fry.
Yeah.
Where they put the rims or they lower the rims.
Like
Cameron was on our team. Mace was on my team. We went all the way to Chicago and we lost to the Puerto Rico team. Yeah, that's how big that Small Fry tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So at what age do you remember playing on your first like summer basketball, to select basketball team? Like you played for Guy Charles, Guy. With the Panthers.
Again, you're playing a summer traveling team
all the time.
At any point. It could be when you're a little kid, or you could be when you're a teenager. So like I said, I was 10 years old, 11 years old. We went to Chicago and played. We went to Philadelphia. We went to places.
So
and I'm not talking about flying. We took the Amtrak. That's when Amtrak was big. Money. People ain't have money. We took the Amtrak from New York to Chicago. And then that's when you go to the front of the train, get your meal, go up there, get you a good burger, come back. And again, we 10, 11 years old, so we just run up and down the cart. Just running up and down, acting the fool, playing tag, hide in between because we used to the train from New York, so we hide in between the carts, which is dangerous, but we live on the dangerous side. But when you're a young kid, man, you might be on a select team. My high school days, I traveled once in the blue because I was always ineligible, not going to class, and put myself in a bad predicament in the summertime. I'm always going to summer school, so I didn't travel too much. But then I kid you not, I didn't need it. I just felt my game was that I didn't need to travel. There's no need for me to go. And again, I was a kid in the street in New York City, so I love being home anyway.
Mm-hmm. Who was that one person that was kind of in your ear, like, come on, Ray, you gotta get to class, man. You gotta do your work, man. You gotta get this done.
Everybody that came across, good partner of mine, Mike Bell. He passed away this year. Mike Bell was definitely a guy. He's the reason I really kept going with basketball. Mm-hmm. I would go to his house. He had all these old tapes, old Knick games, old DePaul games, old St. John's game. And when I go to his house, I wouldn't even come out the room. I just keep telling him to slide me a new tape, and I just keep watching tapes. And I think he realized the more I would stay in the room and watch tapes and footage, that the more it would keep me with basketball and at least try to figure out the school thing along the way. But it would keep me off a big one to go outside. So he force-fed me them tapes, man, and I played a lot of tournaments for him, and in his eyes, he just needed to put 4 people on the court with me and he felt I could win the game, and to him I was better than probably the entire city at a young age.
Now you went against Marbury and some of the rest of those guys, and I remember a story we was talking about one time. You said you was on the corner shooting, playing CeeLo. Somebody come get you. Hey, Skip, we got a game. You had to go get some of them guys.
Yeah.
And they gave you that work?
Yeah, that goes without saying. One thing I learned about playing ball in New York, man, if you play that game enough and long enough, someone's going to catch you. Because you're playing against some phenomenal ball handlers just like myself. Marbury would give it to me some days. Some days I would go back and give it to him. Sometimes I would go to his neighborhood and spend the night at his house, and we going to battle in front of all his friends. And they knew it was a battle every day. We're just a year apart. I'm only a year older, maybe a half a year. So, we gave it to each other. We go upstairs. Mother would cook. I spend the night. We wake up at 7, 8 in the morning, do it again. Wow. I remember battling against Shamgar Wells, and we all know how good his handle is. So that's every day in New York, man.
Shopping's iron.
Yeah, I remember just watching games. I remember when Ken Anderson had to play against Derek Phelps, and Derek Phelps had to play against Adrian Autry, and they had to play against this Khalid Reed. So one thing about the guard playing in New York, every day you play a tournament game, you're gonna face somebody.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the biggest things that I miss, and I love. I love it, and I miss it so much because here, whether it's in Texas or somewhere other parts, even especially in Chicago, they just don't play outside anymore, man. And it's
does not happen.
It's tough, and it's hard to get that type of environment to teach kids to have that type of feel and understand and that passion for the game. Because how can you have a passion for the game if all you're doing is training every day?
Right.
You have a passion to get your ass out of training. I'm tired. I'm trying. You know, what is this for? What is this for? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think the good thing about us, again, different eras too. We also have to factor that in. I think the greatest thing, some of the things that playing outside has done for me, man, is one, it helped me. You know, I'm able to deal with any crowd. You know, so when I played in college and I played with in the NBA, the things that people yell and say, like, please, man.
I heard
had
worse.
death threats. I've been chased. I've been hit with bottles. What could you possibly say or do to me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Coach over there ramping and raving on the sideline and kind of pro. Man, sit down. We got this. You know, those are the things that playing outside helped me deal with. Like, man, we're in control of this. We have this. You know, and it made you tougher. And I think nowadays, also, you couldn't back down from any challenge or any situation because
you can't come back outside.
That's right. You couldn't come back outside, and the people that you got to go home with, they won't let you hear about it. You cannot hang out with us no more. You're running from people, like, you know. So at the end of the day,
No doubt.
At the end of the day, is that the way to live? No. That's, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what I take from it. It made us strong, made me a stronger person, a stronger man, and I'm able to deal with certain things. I think these kids are missing that.
No doubt.
And most of all, they're missing the competitive drive because I don't know when you play a certain AAU leagues, it's a kid. You can see him back down from that kid that's supposed to be that next dude. Oh, yo, he's got a ranking, so now you shy away
got a
from
mixtape. You
saw his YouTube mix, and now you shy away. And when we were coming up, and somebody said this, it was nice. I got him.
Yeah,
I
let
got
me
him.
see.
The respect
Yeah.
factor is different. Like you look for that opportunity where nowadays they want it. They say they want it, but they're really afraid of it.
You wanted to get your name off of his name.
Absolutely.
And nowadays they see his name and they let him have it.
Let him
make it. You know what I'm saying? Let him keep. They give him that instant respect. It's credibility, like it's actually just been validated. It's real.
Ain't done nothing to tell that kid like, oh, I can't guard him.
And you can get your name the way he got it is. Word
Absolutely.
of mouth. Someone told such and such who do the rankings that he's nice, so we're gonna put him way up there. And that's what happens nowadays. When we were coming up, you had to do some work on many occasions. Like, listen, okay, you did good this year, son. We still got you rated number 72. Now come back.
Come back.
You know.
Fast forward. Now we can get back. I know Mo got he be hyped on it, but let's talk about how you actually got out to California to JUCO. I know that you was playing a lot, and I know Guy Charles talked to us a lot. He's talked about. He said you ran with him with the Panthers and running and ball. And he said you was a special kid, and he wanted to make sure he tried to give you a great opportunity. And
special, not meaning special ed, y'all. So let's get it straight. I was
I got
special
it,
talent, y'all. Special ed, y'all.
So Guy said, you know, and you verify this, validate this. You know, he said he came to you and told you, Rafe, you got to get up out of here.
Well, what happened with Gary Charles? I want to say that's summer. This is summer '94, right? It's summer '94, and I'm doing my thing all throughout the New York City. The city's going crazy. Rafe all skits in my Lou, whatever. But little do everyone know, Rafe ain't had no school, so I'm just living the life in New York City. So the summer's winding down. It's getting to August, and Gary said, "Man, what are you gonna do?" In my estimate, the famous word back then, man, I'm chilling. So the guy like, man, I really haven't been out of New York City that as much. So going way across the United States, I don't know about going out there. So he been had this thought that, Ray, I'm going to send you to the college. That was midsummer. Now it's getting closer to school starting, and he's still calling me about it and pulling up on me like, Ray, you gotta go. I'm like, man, I'm chilling. I'm chilling right here on the block. I'm chilling, man. I don't know about going to school. School starts. The day school starts, Gary's like, listen, man, I talked to this coach. We getting you a plane ticket, and you gotta go. So I'm looking at my friends. I'm like, man, you know what? Forget it. If I don't get on this plane or go, I'm just gonna be here and doing nothing all winter long. So I just took one bag. I think I put one pair of jeans in the bag. I think I just got on the plane and I went to the school. Gary was excited because he didn't think I was getting on this plane. He like, man, Ray, he talked fast. Ray, I think I'm so happy you go. Hey, they gonna pick you up. I'm like, somebody better pick me up. I got on this plane. You know what I mean? I can't turn around like it's around the corner where I can just talk. Well, we're not in New York where I can just get on the train. I'm like, man, I'm coming back home. I gotta wait somebody put me back on the flight. There was no buddy pass, all that stuff back then. That's why I had to pay $700 to be back there. So, and I went out there at school. So now it's the second day of school. I go
Which
to
school is this?
Ventura Junior College. Mm-hmm. So the second day of school. So I go with coach, hey, I had to let them tell me about the classes. You know, so this is your schedule. We're gonna go to the guidance counselor so you know exactly everything you're taking. He's telling me about transferable. You know, I don't know about none of transferable stuff, man. Whatever that is, whatever. Just get me in the right class. Where am I staying, man? Who am I with?
You don't even know any of this
I want to
stuff.
know all this stuff in one shot deal. Even if I forget, I just want to know.
Yeah.
So then he go to coach Phil Matthews, good guy, man. Phil ended up coaching. Actually, won him 2 championships. He ended up getting a coach job at Nebraska University, and I think he's back in junior college, man. I hope to get you some players, Phil. So Phil, he's telling me we already got our team. We got our team. And I'm sitting there like, so when he says we got our team, I'm ready to call Gap. I'm ready to call Gee. You sent me this dude to my here I got. But then I'm like, man, coach, I hear what you talking about, but I'm playing on this team.
So back to 4th grade again.
Yeah, but when he said that, I mean, back to 4th grade. Yeah, back to the New York City's about to come at me. I'm like, man, I'm on this team. So back then, in the beginning of the year, y'all, you know, the coach, he's coaching the gym class, which is the gym class at that time in college was the last period or whatever. We used to have our gym class from like 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or something like that, right before you put that practice. So he like, yo, I use this time as my, you know, intramural, well, not intramural, where y'all just play. And I get to see what I got. And man, from the first day, man, I'm dogging these kids, man. I'm destroying these kids. And there's one kid on there, he's from New Jersey. I recognize him because I played against him in New York, New Jersey. His name is Hakeem Ward. So Hakeem out there, and he's like, man, I told him, I tried to tell him. So he's hyped up, he's going crazy, he's bouncing around the gym. He's like, man, I tried to tell y'all, that's my man. I told y'all. I said, man, you didn't have to tell him, I was gonna come in and do it, show him. So then all of a sudden we walk out of the gym, coach said, you little MF, come on over here. Oh, you on this team. I said, coach, I knew that. I was just waiting for you to match us up. And coach, you know, looking back at it, I ended up getting MVP the whole championship, not the season, but the championship. Actually, Hakeem Ward, go figure, 2 East Coast guys ends up being everything out there, going way out to California, be all everything. We're friends to this day. A lot of us on that team, we still talk and speak to this day. And it was just an amazing time out there. It was just an amazing time, and it felt to us a lot, man. But one thing I had to tell him, though, he figured out till this day, he was like, man, when that first day of practice, that first day y'all played that little pickup ball, he said, man, it was amazing. I gave them kids everything. I gave them some street ball move. I gave them everything, and then they even my team wasn't made. It's like, man, they never saw nothing like that.
And that's the beauty of it, because again, nowadays, all I gotta do is just type Alex Pugh name up, and every highlight and everything will pop up. Mm-hmm. To them, you were fresh, new.
Oh yeah, the people in California.
Ever.
I had a kid from Chicago on my team. A big dude. His name was Curtis Gaines. Big dude. He was 6'7" ish. And he comes to Chicago, and he was loud. He's like, ha, that's my kind of game, boss. And I didn't realize where he's from. Like, where you from? I'm from Chicago. I'm like, oh, Chi-Town. He's like, yeah. I said, man, well, listen, man, y'all got Tim Hardaway. He's Isaiah. You know what kind of, you know about the city game. You know about the street game. So it wasn't shocking to Curtis, man.
So check this out. When did your coach realize who he had on his team?
He didn't realize until the newspaper people came in. What's his name? Big time writer. He writes books. Named Tom Friend. I want to believe his name was Tom Friend. You can probably look it up. I think I'm saying it right. He was a big writer. He was writing for actually the New York Times. And the Times came out there.
Dang.
And said, we're doing a feature on this young man because we thought that that no one knew where he went. We thought we lost him. And this is a big, huge. And the history of playground players around New York is big. You got guys that made a ton of money on the streets of New York, but they were big time ball players and told the NBA to kiss their behind.
Right.
I'm making more money than this contract. You got guys that were big time hustlers that pull up in almost Rolls Royce and pull up to the playground game. So the NBA stuff didn't mean much to them because the money was different. So they're making more money on the street. So and then you got guys that just fall by the wayside. So the history of New York City streetball basketball play was huge. So Tom Friend came out there to do a feature on New York Times and was like, listen, y'all don't know what y'all have here. This story is going to get big before you guys know it, that this young man's out here. And and again, he comes out there, I'm like, whatever, let me give you my quotes, let me get back to playing ball. Again, you're a young kid, these things, well, I wouldn't say that because my road and path is different, you know, than the Marburys and all these other dudes. To them, it probably meant the world to me because they played every day in high school. They played, you know, they did all the camps and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't do all that. I'm like, man, I'm the kid from around the way. That's what I want to be. I'm cool with just busting behind and keep it moving. Like,
Wrap
you know,
up the game.
yeah, like we bust each other's butts on the court every time. It's nothing, we ain't thinking. We talk trash and we walk down the street to the corner store and you want to
To the
juice?
corner one.
You want 50 cent Sundew or 50 cent soda? You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You want a $2 hero? Yeah, and that's what's it. So he came out there and did a big feature on me, and the coach realized, who the hell do I have? Who are you? And look, the rest was history,
rest
man.
was history.
That's
Who
crazy.
are you? And you said
The rest was history.
his mouth probably just dropped, and you was like, "Well, hell,
Yeah, man.
coach, I just had
And you know
one."
what? To him, he recruited some of those guys to come out there, and a lot of them are local, California kids, up and down. Some from Southern, some from Northern. You know, which made me understand the region I'm in. And oh man, Cali's big. You know, back then when we thought of California, we thought palm trees, we thought good weather. I was in Ventura, it was like almost an hour outside of really
Kind
LA.
like,
Yeah, you know, it was like the valley almost. So, you know, I ended up going there, then I go to Fresno, that's in central California, the Central Valley. I'm like, this is different. You know, and I had friends from Oakland. I'm like, I go up there, hang out with them. I'm like, man, you know, so I've been up and down Cali from southern to northern. Like, man, I got a chance to understand what's the difference between LA, Oakland, the difference between this, that, and the third about California. But Phil recruited most of those guys. So I felt when he realized how good I was, it's like, you know what? I got this other point guard. I can't just put him to the side and just say, this kid I just picked up 2 days after class started, and he's going to be the guy. So what happened was Coach found a way to do it and make it work. Coach decided we're going to play 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And that's how he did it.
Okay.
And that's how he did it. He said, listen, man, whatever group starts this game, the other 5. So, you know, but one thing he did, when games got tough and tight, he knew he knew who to put on that court, and I was always one of the people to put on that court, and it worked. We had a great team. I mean, we won our first 32 or 32 games. We won our first. We were like 31 in a row. Then we finally lost, and the reason we lost because again, no one, myself, the clown of the team, playing around before the game. I take another team serious, and we end up dropping the game, and then we didn't lose another game and then win the championship.
That's big time.
now, do you think that if you would have stayed on the East Coast, you would have had a different type of influence? Because you way
Well, it depends
far from
where.
Queens.
You know, we have junior college in New York City.
Yeah.
You know, we have Monroe. We have all these different FI at the time. FIT was big. Fashion, suits, technology. I was big.
Because the reason why I ask you was that because sometimes it's good to get away
No,
from your environment.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
perfect because that's what I preach to these kids now. Excuse me. That helped me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not only with basketball but with life. It helped me, man. Like really, it's another world outside New York City. People understand. A lot of us in New York City, we think New York City that's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the world, man. This is what's up. This is the best thing in the world.
Like, all you know.
We can do everything all hours of the day. We can get anything we want at any time of the day. We think this is the world. Like just to go to Philly or Chicago was different to us. Like, man, y'all country. Like, man, what y'all sound funny.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing. But you realize you travel enough through basketball. I travel so much that we all sound different and come from different parts, and there's a different way of life and a way of upbringing when you go to some of these other parts. And you know, although there are things that are the same.
Right.
You know, the same things that we have going on in New York is going on in Chicago and Philly and DC and LA and Detroit.
No doubt.
You know what? Man, you'd be surprised, man. New York's so big. You'd be surprised. There's so many people. There's some people in New York. Like I know growing up in Queens that never been to Staten Island, brother. I can tell you right now, I don't even been to Staten Island. Maybe I count on one hand how many times in my lifetime, and I'm born and raised there.
Wu-Tang.
Mo can tell you how many times he left the South Side to go to the West Side.
Not me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Stay where you at.
now when you left Ventura, you went to Fresno State.
Fresno City.
Fresno City.
I went from one junior college to the next because Coach
Now,
Tarr
I
was
say
recruiting
now,
me.
somebody didn't they hide you out? Somebody tried to hide you.
Well, Coach Tarr recruited me. Coach Tarr recruited me. That was his way of recruiting people. You know what I'm saying? And when you're recruiting at a junior college rank, no one thinks much of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's different trying to recruit a kid from McDonald or America. That's just a natural recruitment. But when you got a kid, see back then junior college, getting to the junior college was big.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of this. I remember Sean Marion was in junior college at the time. Keon Clark, all these guys were in junior college when I was in junior college out there. You know, we were all in junior college, and getting them kids from junior college was huge back then. And he came to one of my games. I think I had 24 points, 8 assists. It was a playoff game, a junior college playoff game out there in California. And he was like, man, I'm coming back to basketball. I want to recruit you. The only way for me to him to assure that I would go, that's when he came to my game. Summertime came. I would, as we all go home in the summer. Mm-hmm. Coach Carr came to New York in the summer. Like, listen, I wasn't playing around. I'm like, listen, I'm dead serious. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I'm a big UNLV fan. I'm like, man, this man really coming to Rucker Park where guys are smoking weed and cursing each other out. And he's sitting right there. He's like, listen, man, what's what I want you to do? He had the game plan down, and it worked out. He's like, man, you're going to finish up at Fresno City JUCO, right next to me, which is right down the street from Fresno State. After that, you can come to Fresno State, and
there it is.
We're on our way.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
How I was.
When did you?
But the backtrack is just that if he didn't do that, I was getting recruited again. I was getting recruited when that first year of junior college. I was getting recruited by all the California schools. You talking about USC. I remember Seth Greenberg. He was at Long Beach State. He was sending his people to Ventura. Like, man, we got it, because he was big on recruiting kids out of New York. Anyway, so he's like, man, I gotta get this guard. I get this guard to come to Long Beach State. We on our we you know what I mean? UNLV was recruiting me. And I know Talk definitely, when he realized he can get me, he's like, man, I can't lose him to UNLV, my former school. So it was cool. Man, I had, again, coming out of junior college, I had like tried. My college coach in junior college had to hide all my mail. I didn't, like, from Ventura to Fresno City, I didn't see no mail. And I realized why, because
they would know
they had to hide it. But little did they know is I knew that the people come to see because they would show up at the games.
Yeah.
Those same coaches, like, man, not to be disrespectful of my teammates, but I knew they weren't coming to see those guys, so I already knew who they were coming to see. So at the end of it, it's like, and then when I finally signed my 11th 10, that's when my coach Steve Cleveland, Fresno State, he finally let me see. It's like, it was just garbage bag to garbage bag, and all these people, and some had personal handwritten letters, like, man, please, we can get you at this school, you'll get us over the hump.
So Steve was with Tark.
Pretty much. And I helped Steve get a job. He ended up leaving Fresno City and signing with BYU, and he was the head coach at BYU. And then he ended up going to Fresno State himself after a couple years at BYU. So
he was with Tark.
I was a helping hand to get a few people some jobs.
What was it about Tark? The fact that he
everything.
came to
Tark
New York?
probably is the greatest coach I think that these young kids had, and I think these young kids are gonna miss. He's about helping the kids. He's about doing everything. It's all about the kid, the student athlete. If you notice nowadays, a kid will get a traffic ticket, right? A college kid. Let's say he's an athlete. He'll get a traffic ticket, and what's the first thing these people want to do to the kid? Kick him out of school. Right? You know why is that? Because that's the easiest thing for them to do, right? The hardest thing is to take time out your so-called busy schedule, which they're not busy, and try to educate the kid on, listen, the do's and the don'ts, the rights and the wrongs, and try to get him some type of help about understanding, listen, man, this is what you have to do going forward. You got to remember, a lot of us are in our late teens and trying to become men and women on college campus,
still a kid.
right? We're also at a point where in college, this is the first time we're free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Man, I get to go. I stay in this. Some people stay in dorms, some people stay, like I stayed on campus.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, man, I could come and go. Man, I could bring this girl in any time of the day. Hey, listen, homeboy, Ma, you my roommate. Hey, take one for the team, man. Go to, what's the name of the house? Let me rock out with homegirl. So,
right.
But we're young. We're not realizing that, we here really for a purpose. So you tend to deviate from the game plan. Right, that task and the game plan at hand. Mm-hmm. And see, you can't find many coaches do that nowadays. In fact, you may not find one that's willing to put their job and life on the line for the sake of a kid. And Talk would.
Don't get low started right now. Don't get low started right now.
I get
no, you don't find one. I don't. To me, I see kids left and right on the bottom line of ESPN. Such and such had a traffic ticket, and y'all gonna kick him out of school? Okay, kick him off the team. Coach was big about that. Y'all want to kick him off the team, but don't kick him off out of school.
That's a life change.
Because now all of a sudden, what does he learn? And that's big. And I think that's the biggest thing about coaching. That's the biggest what they had misconstrued about him. They try to act like he didn't care. I mean, coach will lose his job, man. Coach will give it. I've seen and watched coach go to the board and let them know that, listen, we have to save a kid's life. And if y'all kick him out of school, then I'm gonna step down. And next thing you know, that kid is in school. Because at the end of the day, they realize that's the most important thing is to save a kid's life, man. These nowadays, I dare you to get in trouble at one of them schools.
And that's why a lot of parents nowadays, they need to ask some of these coaches, how far are you willing to go for my child? How far have you went for a previous player? Because I look at
But you know what, Lo, not just that. Look at how far you came to get my kid there. See, we forget the thing about recruiting.
Yeah.
They will come to your house. And these are supposed to be God-fearing people. These are supposed to be they'll sell you about all this stuff. They will come and look you in your eye and tell you everything about how we're gonna, man, your kid is gonna love, we're gonna take care of your kid. Key word. We're gonna take care of your kid. Then my kid gets in trouble out there, and the first call, the thing you say on the phone call to me is, we gotta get rid of him.
Yeah.
You're gonna get rid of my kid. You just told me to take care of my kid.
Wow.
Again, he's a young kid trying to learn to be a man, and we put him in your hands, and you're supposed to do that to help him become a man. Is quitting on him helping him become a man?
No doubt.
Right. Tuckane's not quitting on you.
Wow.
That's big.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go there. I'm just gonna chill because this is your day.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Let Rafe have it.
But no, you know what? Those sometimes people, if they don't hear it from somewhere, they're never gonna hear it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and they should have a panel in college about that to these coaches. You guys are getting paid $5 million, $7 million a year, and you gonna kick a kid out of school. That's sad, man. That kid is the reason one of the reasons you're making this money.
Getting
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So why do that?
All these kids,
my thing
all
is-
these previous kids have helped you to get to where
That's
you
right.
are right now. So now that you're there, you're not willing to sacrifice anything.
Nor would you
anymore.
accept their call if they call you they want to be assistant. He just won your national championship, and you want to take this man's call.
Major key alert.
I'm just saying, it's crazy, man. You know, I give you another thing about college, how crazy college is. And having said all this about college, I would love to be a college coach. That's the same thing about it. Here I am, saying. But at the end of the day, look where they taking college now. I remember when we were signing, guys were signing scholarships. It was 4 years.
Right.
Look what those coaches. Look what the coaches went and talked to these people about. And this is documented. They don't want to be on the hook to be stuck with a kid for 4 years if he's not turn out to be the player that we thought he's going to be. So now in college, it's from year to year.
Year to year.
Because it's not about me.
Because it's not a scholarship anymore. It's a contract. And to be honest with you, it's always been a contract. The scholarship is the word, it's just a replacement word. But it's always been a contract. You know what I'm saying? Why you think that's why it's all this stuff about not paying them? Think about football players. You don't think them kids should be paid? And they play in 100,000+ seat arenas, packing it every weekend for you. And this is you know what brings in the money for like schools like let's say a LSU. The basketball program ain't doing it.
Football.
Right? Let's look at Penn State.
Athletes.
Let's look at Penn State. You think the basketball program brings in money for Penn State? No, football.
Definitely.
So when the
first.
whole Sandusky thing went all out doing that, did you think Penn State flinched at any penalty? You can't have this scholarship, you can't play in the bowl game. But we can still play, can't we? Yeah, you can still make all the money in your 100,000 seat plus venue. So we're like, oh, okay.
Cool. We good.
We still get parking. We still get the concession. People gonna buy these jerseys, and you're gonna buy these tickets.
What did they lose?
And they lost nothing because they don't know whether they're gonna make it to those bowls probably anyway. Because no one it's hard to recruit the kids to go to Penn State, and you playing the Big Ten. You got to go against Michigan State, Michigan, all these games. Who's going to Penn State?
That's real.
Man, you just went all the way around the corner.
Come on, man. I'm telling you, Bryce. I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
We gotta have part 2 about the podcast. That's what we got. That's all I should let y'all know. We gotta have part 2 or part B to the Rafer Alston podcast.
There it is.
That's all.
We're gonna have it. We're gonna have it real quick though. When did it become a reality to you about playing in the NBA?
Then playing in the NBA was always a dream. Every night and day I left the playground. Even as a young kid, I was always the dream is to play in the NBA. I remember telling my aunt, when I make the NBA, I'm gonna buy you something nice. And she laughed at me like, "Boy, please." You know what I'm saying? Boy,
Yeah.
please. I said, "Yeah, you know."
Being a street ball guy, did you really think that you were gonna get there?
Yeah. You know what's so crazy?
Because at the time, they were against that street
They
ball.
still
atmosphere.
against it.
Absolutely.
But it was at that time.
Actually, let me say
it was
something.
worse,
That's
though.
why we gotta have part B. I can go with so in depth to this about how these people in that NBA and all this basketball world try to act like street ball is so terrible.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then them kids get it. I mean, I just ask those people, where do you think we learned the game from first?
Boom. Boom.
That's all I want to ask them people. I never had even. I've been around people all my life. I just watch them talk so down about because we're not fundamentally sound and things like that. Okay, cool. You have that against us, but at the end of the day, where do you think we learn from? We don't wake up and go and get into a triple threat position. No. I can tell you one thing. I learned watching again the dancing Doogie and all these other people. I learned watching Ice how to put that ball between my legs, spin off this guy and lay this guy. I learned that.
Competition.
That's something big. What I say as far as people, you get into the gym now, they want to fix this and fix that. And that's you you're like, hold on, you don't do this right. Hold on. I did it well enough for you to get me here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I got game. That's why I'm here. So now that I'm here, you trying to tell me that I got to do something
thing
else.
you liked about me is now something that you don't like about me. Once I'm in your grasp, and I'm in
Right, there it is.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
that's that college stuff again.
Was it once the N1 mixtape tour started and it was kind of real heavy? Were you kind of leaning away from it, like, you know what? Let me just try to do the NBA thing, and not have that little moniker on.
You know what? It bothered me just trying to get that stigma. But again, I understood talking to certain people how naive people were. You know, just how one-sided their minds were. It's like, look, you want to be not to shoot down the N1 mixtape tour and all that, and I would tell them that it was something to do during the summer months.
Absolutely.
You know, and we were really going to be technical about it. We were really a modern day Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It just happened that we were gravitated to because then they rolled out with the ESPN. If you think about it, I'm gonna take it back. We get back there. We were the first reality TV show. People don't know that.
No doubt.
People don't realize that. We didn't call it reality TV. But when they followed us around, we were just being ourselves. We used to make dudes wear funny backpacks. Man, you gotta wear this Bug Bunny backpack up and down the street, and it was authentic. It was like, man, that's what you gotta do. Listen, man, we're gonna do that. You know, we were acting ourselves. Would you say someone was ignorant? Yeah, someone was ignorant. But now I'm in the NBA, and now they trying to act like as if that's who I really am, and I can't play this game. Till this day, someone try to act like, oh, he changed his game. I never changed my game. Because I could always play this game. I always knew how to play the pro. I always knew how to play basketball the right way. And then if you wanted to get into some up-tempo, I could play up-tempo. They thought I didn't have the body because I was skinny to grind it out. And I showed them I could grind this out with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of our coaches, it blew their mind, one, my work ethic. It blew their mind, my IQ the game. It blew their mind about through all the stuff I do, the things I do to the ball, I don't turn that ball over.
Yeah.
So all this stuff blew their mind, and what they try to act like if they was the reason. Oh, he toned his game down. No, this is how NBA basketball's played. It's a real methodical game.
Right.
It's a real each conference is different. The West is want to go woo woo woo. The East was more grinded out. Right. I grew up watching the Knicks of the late '80s, early mid '90s. So we had to grind out. You had to really, get across half, post up, cut through, stand wide. These are the things about the NBA. But in their mind is, he changed his game, or he toned it down. I didn't tone anything down. That's just the way that y'all were playing the game, and I showed y'all that I could play y'all game, and that's just the way it was.
On the flip side of that, what about you kind of have the survivor's remorse, because you were the one that made it out of all the street ball guys. What was that kind of taking on that amongst those guys that you had to go back home to? A lot of people was jealous of you.
Yeah, a lot of them were. A lot of them were. And I tried to help a lot of them. That's when, at my third year in the NBA, they started the D-League. I remember AO. I got AO on that D-League team. I said, listen, go to this coach, Sam Vincent. What's up, Sam Vincent? He helped me get into the league because I had to go to the D-League after my 3-year contract was up. And I told AO to go down there. He said, man, I'm going to help this guy. AO could play the game. People just think AO is just some type of street ball game. AO could really play some basketball. But he has some things, again, he's come up the same way I come up. He's a kid from the streets of Philly, and he's going through things like I went through. And then he had to leave the D-League team. I bet you know, you talk to him right now, he'll say, man, if I could do it all again, I'd have stayed in that D League because he was doing what he had to do. He was doing everything I was doing down there. He would have got called up. Some of those guys, what people didn't know about a few of my friends, I still call them friends, even though they were jealous of me, is I was kicking their behinds on the playground.
Way back when?
Yeah, I was kicking their behind in 1992, 93, 94, 95, when I came off of junior college, 96, and they couldn't take that. Then all of a sudden, so they were jealous then, because a lot of them from the Bronx, Harlem, and Rutgers and Harlem.
They saw
so
the
your friends like me my game more than you. They like your game when I come to the park. They may like you against anybody else.
But when I
Skip walking that park, listen, brother, we're going with that dude, man. Come on, we're going. And that's just the way it was. And they couldn't take that. So when I went to the NBA and I got to come back and do the street ball, I'm not on the tour as much as them.
Right.
I'm not on the tour bus. So now I'm really not one of y'all in their eyes. So they were jealous of me. And instead of just, like you saying, why didn't y'all just ask that man and see what he could do? Why could he help you? Ayo's the only one. That's why I went above and beyond to help him. Because he's like, man, Ray, what I can do? And I told him, listen, man, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to call this guy. He going to call you.
Set it up.
And he going to tell you to come on down.
That's what's up, man.
And that's why he was the only one that asked me.
Because I remember times when you would come out, you would make spot appearances. You know, Rafe only coming to the hot markets.
Yeah, no,
Miami.
but that was, but see, it was a joint effort on that. It was a joint effort on that.
Yeah.
You know, the brass of N1, which you know who they are the people that run the company. They understood the climate that I was in at that time. They understood. Listen, man, this guy's NBA. We need him to keep this tour only to enhance it. But at the end of the day, we know that he can't really do this tour as much as he thought. Mind you, I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's summertime. I have nothing else to do. I'm not even playing in the NBA. I'm in the NBA, but I'm not playing. Like I'm grateful to be in the NBA, but I was getting like 20 straight DMPs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I go from playing every place I've been, every place I go to, man, listen, I'm at the end of the bench just looking in the crowd. I'm in the NBA at that time, my first couple years, looking at women that's in the crowd, man. I'm like, man, you see that lady at section 113? I think that's row K. You know what I'm saying? No, for real, that's what we were doing. Like, no, for real. Guys that was on the end of the bench back then, it was called IR. You gotta be on IR. And when they put you on IR, you gotta go on IR for a mandatory 5 games before you come off. Whether you have an injury or not. Right? You don't have to have an injury.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay? You would show up to the arena and you got some undisclosed injury, like, and then you look at the game notes, Rafer's out with bursitis in the elbow. Elbow fine, man. But you're like, yo, you can't let that out. You got bursitis in the elbow. So, man, we used to sit on the end of the bench, I'm like, man, good job out there. Yo, did you see Shorty? It's actually, look at 112, dog. Look at 112, Marlon. Look at 112. Woo! And when I was sitting the ball boy, I sit at halftime, I roll up $100 bill and put that in the ball boy, my number. Yo, take the 100's for you. Get that number to set to 112. And we used to do something just to keep our mind off of being frustrated, the fact that I'm not playing. We found things to take our mind off of how mad we were by not playing, because we competitive.
No doubt.
We competitive. I'm like, man, I want to be out there. Yeah. And you also learn, listen, the only way for me to get that big contract is what? I gotta be on the floor putting up stats.
Minutes.
So it's like, man, you frustrated. I'm calling home like, yo, I want to come home, man. I'm not playing. You know, people who call me race, hang in there. You know, you come too far. We ain't going nowhere. And those are the things. Those are the words that, you know, I was getting from home. And then even guys on the court, you know, Sam Cassell, Glenn Robinson. I mean, I had vets. J.R. Reed, Dale Ellis, Vinny Del Negro, Scott Williams. I had vets. And they were like, man, Skip, your time coming. You're going to be a starter in this league. And see, they've been in the league for so long that they knew.
Yes.
I'm sitting like, how y'all know? Y'all ain't the coach. You know what I'm saying? You're like, man, the coach ain't supposed to tell me I'm be a starter. And they're like, man, listen, young fella.
Keep
nice.
On, yeah.
Listen. And you 3 years later, I'm a starter full time in that league.
Where was your first break at? Where was it at?
Toronto. Toronto. They called me from D-League on a 10-day. All they guys were hurt. Lenny Wilkins. Man, I love Lenny. Lenny was big. In my career, actually, really to jumpstart my NBA career as far as being a everyday player. And I got there, and Lenny said, "Listen, just be you." In the first game, I think I had 3 straight 20-point games right off the D League, and that was it. He kept me for the year. Then I ended up going to Miami. I was playing 30-something minutes there, and I came back to Toronto. Unfortunately, Lenny was gone, and it happens.
One of the most biggest things that he talks about is he said, man, I got to get Rafe on, man. When we talk to Rafe, I got to ask him Orlando.
Orlando.
Make it happen, Mo. Make it happen.
Man, you know, I'm watching that finals. You my guy. Been knowing you for a long time.
Right.
I'm like, my dude about to get him a ring. I'm watching them. I'm watching the way in which you are orchestrating, and y'all getting dubs. I'm like, it's a wrap. They about to get one. Then they bring Jameer Nelson back. Like, I know I don't want you to be PC about it, but like I know you had to be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like you brought this dude. This dude ain't played in forever.
And listen, it was tough for all of us.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Keep it 1,000.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was tough for Jameer.
Oh,
So
wow.
people understand that. It's tough for everybody. You know why? You may not ever get to the finals in life again, which they see now.
No doubt.
They never went back. None of those players probably ever went back. Jameer never went back. Jameer been bouncing around different teams lately. I'm out the league, haven't been back since. So we understand that, man, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. So when they announce he's coming back, it's like, yeah, he could come back. But no, this isn't the time. But it's like, we're caught between a rock and a hard place. It's tough on the coach. It was tough on the coach. But with that being said, that showed me the business of basketball and what this is all about. That's all I can really tell you. That y'all know. Y'all got to read between the lines. That's the business of basketball. That's the business of basketball.
I'm going to take that answer. But for me, though,
Speak on
although it's the business, if I'm Jameer, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fuck this up.
But you're not thinking like that time because you're like, man, we
I'm
in the finals.
You gotta
understand.
It's my place.
You understand.
Let me get back in.
We're in the finals. This is the biggest platform in basketball ever. You can play in all the other games you want.
I get it.
82, all of the first, second, third round.
But I get it though. But we all knew that the chemistry that you
we
had,
knew that.
You know what I'm saying?
The team knew
Everybody
that.
knew that. So
Think about this. I still started every game. It's just that when I subbed out, coach leave me out the game for about 15 straight.
Yeah.
And thought at 33 years old at the time that I was gonna miraculously pop up like, yeah, let's go. Like, no, your body don't work like that when you get older. But guess what else it was hard on? Who till this day, I wish I could call him like Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson was backing me up playing big minutes. I got suspended one game. He did the job, got us a win. He didn't play a lick.
It just messed everything
He
up.
didn't play a lick of basketball in them finals, bro.
What was that, 9-10 years ago?
2009. So it's like 7 years ago.
7 years.
Yeah.
Hold on. For the young fellas and everybody that's listening, read off that lineup. Who was on that squad?
Man, we have a tough squad.
God, nice. That was nice.
Rashard Lewis, Hedo Turkoglu, Dwight Howard, Martin Gortat, Courtney Lee, Michael Petrus.
Yes.
Forgot about Petrus.
But it's just so crazy. Y'all sitting there like, ooh. But to other teams, even when I played against them before I got traded, that line don't scare me.
At all.
That's what I tell you. Like when I played I was on Houston before I got there. So even though as good as a season that they were having, a good season like that we ended up having even when I got there, when I was on the other team, you look at that line, you're like, that's not scary.
Yeah.
Guys just made shots.
They was there. They like, you know, and that's the NBA.
Absolutely.
Like lineups don't scare you. Like as good as Golden State line look right now, them kids, them young people ain't out there. You heard Damian Lillard said the other day, listen, we just gotta take down the Giants. That don't scare you when you get to that point. I mean, you know what the potential of a game it could be though. You know. But at the end of the day, we had a good team. Big shout out to all those guys, man. And you know, I just hope one day. I'm pretty sure Orlando will have a reunion. I can't wait to see all those guys. You know, I can see Rashad any day.
Yeah.
But those guys were good, man. We had a great run. We gelled. That's one thing I said when I got traded there. We gelled right away. They welcomed me with open arms, and it was fun, man. We had that run. That city embraced us, man. That city embraced me. But again, back to the Jameer, and it was tough, man. I never even asked Coach about it. I just had to, again, like I'm telling you, I had to read between the lines. I'll give y'all this. You ain't got to read between the lines. You're either going to be a coach's guy or you're going to be a GM guy. Just to put your hand, y'all figure out which guy I was.
No. Hey.
You just figure out which guy I was.
You ain't got to say this. Most GMs are the coach nowadays.
No.
Nowadays,
Back then.
I know. Back then, I know.
But nowadays, most coaches are now trying to be both. They're going to be both.
So they're GM.
So they're going
GM
to have a hand in who comes to the team, who's playing, and they try to do that. Unless it's a number one pick, unless you're in a Philly situation where you call. I'm gonna tell you who's really GMs, agents.
Yes.
Agents are GMs. Play my guy. So if you want any chance of getting this guy.
Sign my guy.
Sign my guy.
If you want any chance
of getting such and such, he's a free agent.
And if folks
Did you hear what's going on with Philly now?
Yeah.
His Ben Simmons' agent is saying we want to shut him down for the year.
I heard about that.
For the year.
And just think.
What do you think about?
Just think. If you don't do it, when he comes up to be a free agent,
he's
you
gone.
can kiss your damn chance goodbye of him even signing.
See, we didn't again.
And that's basketball.
Again, we didn't turn another corner.
That's a whole.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, man. You know what it is though, Lo?
What's that?
Things lead into. You see what I'm saying? There's even when you're talking, you're like, man, wait, well this happened, so that led to that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like almost like doing something and then you get the repercussions of like, man, if you run this light, this can happen. So if you ask, so I know y'all had to like that. You don't be asked Ray about this might come up. You know what I'm saying? So
I wasn't expecting you to say that agents are, but if
what I'm going to tell you this,
they got clout.
Absolutely,
I'm gonna end up running to NBA people and they may see this podcast. And they can't tell me anything because it's the truth.
It's the truth. If people go and do their homework right now today, you'll be surprised how many players on one team are represented by one agent.
Yeah,
I mean, let's speak. It is what it is. And I research it.
I'm just saying,
I research it, so I can tell you it's 5, 6 guys.
And they trying to ask the coach to coach them. Now, how the hell he gonna coach them? And they represented by him and by this one agent, and that agent controlling the GM. This is ridiculous. How you gonna win a game?
Pay them or we're all
This is what I'm trying to tell you about the NBA. We ain't gotta say no more.
We don't have to say no more.
Lines about the NBA.
Read between the lines.
Now y'all said all that.
It's a
now
business.
Just think about the NBA, bro. Just think about it. Why is that team so terrible now?
Oh, probably because the damn.
There's no reason for a team to be so bad.
But they got.
But it's a reason for it. Now, people can say, "Man, I'm not coming to that damn team. I don't want to go. I'm not going.
Don't want to go."
And I got my agent got 3 people on that team. We getting up out of here.
Exhibit A. How many players from Kentucky play for the Phoenix Suns?
A lot.
And I'm not even gonna count them for you.
Like 4?
More than that.
More than 4?
It's 5 or 6.
I'll give you one. Is J.R. Smith gonna get re-signed by Cleveland?
Absolutely,
okay.
he will.
Why do you think he's gonna be signed?
Because he's represented by Rich Paul.
Hello.
And that is the same agent of LeBron James.
Hello.
And that agency is clutch. So they're going to hold out until you give them that money back. And if you want LeBron, you're going to get that money back.
Didn't that happen last year with Tristan?
Hello.
Secure the bag alert.
Secure the bag alert.
Come on.
Leverage.
This is where the NBA is going, bro.
Leverage.
Secure the bag. Wow.
This is where they went to, Lo.
Hey, I tell y'all before, if you come up in here, you
gonna
better
keep it 100.
keep it 100.
You gotta keep it
know it's
100,
hot up
man.
in here.
And it's hot right
Listen,
now.
that's why we call it the summer.
One
It's
thing I
always
learned,
hot
Lo,
up in here.
if you can't be honest with yourself, how can you be honest with any other people? Right? You gotta learn to be honest with yourself first before you can be able to be honest with other people. So I gotta be honest with you, man. That's a tough business, man. It's a beautiful business, but it's a tough business, man.
I love it.
And the only reason that people keep their mouth shut is because all they think about is a dollar. Hey, I'm getting paid $12 million. Let me zip this. Woo, I can't tell you what's really going on.
Bag.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hey.
But my thing too to those people is that's what you worth. So there's a price tag on your pride, your soul, and your dignity. There's a price tag on that.
Shout out to my man Lo, put me on that book. What's the name
There's
of it?
a price tag.
$40 million slave.
$40 million
I'm telling
slave.
you.
Charles William wrote.
Big time book.
I gotta get it. Thank you for
It's
bringing
big.
it out. I'll go get it.
It's big.
Yeah.
Because, man,
Low fluster
Low
right
fluster right now.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna
gonna go there.
drop the juice. And it's all started from an Orlando question. Think about it. It started from an Orlando question. So when you decide you're gonna ask them, let you know, listen, man, I was a coach's guy.
The coach's guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Jared was the GM's guy.
Absolutely.
That's the GM's call.
But you said you was gonna let them figure that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it be fair. They obviously didn't want to figure it out, so I'm just like, Jameer's a GM's guy, and I love Jameer. I don't love him. Shout out Jameer. For those say when Coach told me he's coming back, I'm like, man, I want him to come back. People don't know. I even told him to start him. They don't even know that because I knew what was gonna happen. I had a feeling. Listen, man, my minutes is gonna be foot messed up. I'm already in a groove with this certain minute. I even said start him.
Ooh.
Then start him, brother.
Because he
was a starter team, and he is a starter team. He was an all-star that year. That's his team.
Absolutely.
Start him. If you really see, that's what I'm saying about how if you really want to go back to bringing him back, don't just bring him back. Bring him back to his rightful position. Maybe we might see the real Jameer. Because I'm telling you, it's hard to go from being a starter to come off the bench. So my thing with them was, I'm in the groove already. Start him. Get him in the groove because I'm gonna be in the groove. So game 1 and game 2, I was out of groove. Game 3, coach came to me and was like, listen, we're gonna have to ride you out. I had 20 points game 3. So when he went back to me playing my normal minutes and my substitution pattern being normal, I had 20 points. Guess what happened in game 4? They went back to doing what they did in game 1 and game 2. I wonder why that is. Who said something? If we down 0-2, in game 3, we win. You're not gonna stick with 1 in game 3? You don't go back what made us lose in game 1 and 2? I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
He wasn't healthy, 100%.
No, we can go past Jameer.
Absolutely.
So I wonder who said.
No doubt about it.
Because if you're a coach and you know what's working and winning,
You can stick with the recipe.
You should. I mean,
because we can't change it.
Right.
We lose this series, we don't win the
right.
ring. And that's my team, and that's my thing about that level. It's like, what's really important? Showing you that I'm the boss or who's in charge or winning.
Yeah.
And that's what opened my eyes by being in that finals. And that's what I said, you know what? I had to take it like a man and keep walking. I never asked these people that. I never asked Coach why, which I have every right to. And why did y'all do that?
Yeah.
Forget it. You know what? Y'all know, you guys know in this front office and you guys know as coaches why y'all did that. So I'm leaving it y'all. Listen, if that was more important than winning, then I guess that's what goes on in the NBA.
I just want to
winning
say,
might be the last thing on these people's minds.
You just helped me. I look at it the same way you look at it, but you definitely just helped me.
Winning could be. Listen, I've been on a lot of teams, so I've had the opportunity to see certain things.
Absolutely.
Like
How many teams? How many years?
man, 11 and a half years. They don't want to give me credit for 12, so they just say it's 11. And a plethora of teams. Some I went to teams twice. So I've been on quite a few teams, and each organization is different. It ran different, and some teams are about winning. Some things about, listen, this is how we do things here. Some teams, some organizations it was all over the place. This guy do whatever he want. He could do what he want. Like this is some organizations is crazy.
So.
Low still flustered.
No, I'm good because I love.
Low probably just didn't think he's gonna get all this information. Like, man, this man came in, really dropped some.
I'm good. So, I'm good, and I love it because that's what the summer's all about. You know, man, keeping it hot. Keeping it, letting everybody know what's going on. But I sit back when you. Man, whoo, okay, we're good.
I told y'all, he flustered.
No, we're good. When you cross wrestling, when you start talking about people are worried about their check. That's kind of the situation a little bit even back then is relevant even today because some people, they'd rather get paid. I say this all the time and people don't, some people don't believe me, but many people always say the thing about black people is they can't say no to money.
Oh, no.
If you put some money on the line or you tell them that they won't get this or won't get that, it's almost like you got them in check.
Look at every bit. Look at a lot of business that our people, I say our youth and again, I would say a lot of us are looking to get into. So right now, if you look back with music, how do they corrupt the people, the artist's mind back in the day as far as with music, right? You give them a boatload of money up front, right?
No publishing.
No publishing, so they don't know, right? And they also, to keep your mind drifted from it, they put you in these settings where you're going to use and abuse drugs. Right? You think about music back then, right? Look at music now to this day.
Right.
It's no different, it's just in a different format. But it's the same thing. You look at sports. Give them a boatload of money. Right? Give them all that money. Let's
Right.
keep them. Let's keep them off the mind. Let's keep their minds off of, because 12, 13 million is enough to hush these people up.
Yes.
It's enough. Listen, you give somebody 15 million, young black man, whatever, anything,
Mom about to work
they're
no
gonna
more.
shut up, and it's gonna keep your mind off of what's really the fact that if they can give you 12, 15, how much more could they really give you?
And so,
How much are they making?
You know they making. You know they making a boatload. You know they making.
yeah, what I say, if an owner can pay the whole team a couple $100 million for 1 year, you have no idea how much money he's making.
And they get to tell
You
the
have
people
no idea.
every year that they're losing.
Every year they get to tell me, and
Right?
that's not real.
Think about it. A guy says something negative about black people. He owns the the Clippers. He says something negative about the black players, and the only thing they could do is turn their shirts inside out.
But they still
Why?
play.
They still play. That was me. Yo, I'm done. I'm not. First of all, you turn the shirt inside out. You still put it on, jerk. The best thing y'all should have did was go out there with no shirt on, just your chest out and your taco meat showing like, damn that Clipper uniform. But what do they go do? Put it on, turn it backwards. Right? And then play the game. Damn that game.
What you think about Kaepernick then? Because let me tell you this. Because the thing about it today, what happened was an NFL owner came out today and said he told his team, "You're gonna stand for the Star Spangled Banner. You're gonna stand for the and you're gonna put your hand over your chest."
Oh,
This came out
And they did it.
Or else. No, it's for this weekend. It's for coming up. Or else. Yes, that just came. It was on Undisputed today with Skip Bayless talking about it. But or else. You know what I mean? I tweeted that thing
See,
earlier.
and that's the thing. That's the
What
thing.
team?
But see, look.
I didn't see that.
They would not say the team name.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, they caught between a rock and a hard place. Some players are and some players aren't. Right? I guarantee you this. Whatever team that is, that quarterback on that team is making a good piece of money.
Mm-hmm.
So if he decides he wasn't going to do it, he's not coaching. Listen, we're gonna dock your pay that game. Oh well, I'll still get my money. But see, and that's what they dangle over your head. You know what they're going to dangle over your head? We're going to hold your check.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Again, if you got pride, soul, and dignity in that green bill, well now the money is going towards Monopoly money if y'all realize it, because if you look at Monopoly, what color is the $100 bill? Was it blue? Right? And you think now we're going funny money now. Right? Now the $50 bill is pink and all this stuff funny. And the $10 bill is turning, it's almost yellowish. What's yellow in Monopoly? The $10. Yeah, you see which way we going? Right? But anyway, that's a whole other topic.
I gotta go back and look at that.
Go look at it. You got Monopoly in there somewhere. Kid, come look Monopoly up. Hey, but that's what they're gonna dangle over their head. We're gonna take your check. And you know what they're gonna do? I don't want to lose my money. Right? And that's what's always gonna happen. See, and that's what's going on in the world today. They know they can get away with gunning down our youth and unarmed black men. Why? Because they're going to get a slap on the wrist. You know why they're also doing it? They know we're really not going to come together. They know the most we're going to do is march. We're going to protest. And what they do at the protest? They arrest some people at the protest. So the protest is actually paying in favor of who?
And we tear up our own stuff at the protest.
Right? And we tear up our own stuff. Right? We won't go to their neighborhood or do their stuff, which I don't condone that. I'm just saying they know this about us. That man who said that, the reason he said that, because in his heart, I own you.
No doubt.
And that owner's heart, I own you. Instead of trying to say, listen, let's do something to where it doesn't like we're totally disrespecting our flag, but let's do something to where it shows that, listen, we're for the flag, but we're also against this brutality and this oppression of a culture.
Mm-hmm.
But in his eyes is, man, I own y'all. Y'all gonna do what I tell y'all to do, and I'm gonna take y'all money.
And he said that. He basically said that this is my team. Listen, my sponsors basically come to me. This is my team, and you're gonna do.
I didn't know
what
that,
tell you
Lord.
to
That
do,
kind of hurt
basically.
my heart that you said that. That's what that man said.
I didn't know
That hurt
that.
my heart, man.
Look,
That hurt my
I'm with
heart,
you,
man.
It
And
did.
like I said, but that's our people. You know what I'm saying? That's our people, right?
Mhm.
Or else.
You got NBA players who saying, well, I'm gonna stand for the flag. Listen, Ali wouldn't. Jim Brown wasn't gonna do it, right? And you know why? Because they didn't care about the money. The money didn't make them. When I came into that NBA, man, I used to hear guys say, "Hey, listen, man, whatever you do, don't mess up your money. Don't mess up." So you mean to tell me they could put their foot in my rear end I have to grin and bear all that just because I want to make $1. So this is the only way in y'all heart, mind, and soul that you can earn a good living, man. You haven't thought about earn a good living to where you can be respected. Like we can respect each other to earn $1. And that's the thing about a lot of those guys, especially in professional sports. You're gonna see it, man. That's why it's not going as far. Because I mean, I know me. If I'm in the NBA, I'm joining Kaepernick with it. But again, like he said, we're only doing it because to let you know that we disagree with
what's going on
in our so-called country that we call the land of the free, home of the brave. How free he said it. How free are we?
What happens if the real stars, you know, LeBron, Harden, and those guys,
they're not doing it.
If they were to sit,
their brand is worth too much.
Their brand is going. But at the end of the day, if you always to sit, everyone else is gonna follow y'all.
Exactly.
Let's say this guy does that with this NFL team, and that whole team. So we ain't playing today. We forfeit. At some point, it's gonna be a give and take. Okay, you take our money. You don't have no team, right? You're not gonna win the NFL with the taxi squad.
Exactly.
You're not gonna win with supplemental players. You're not gonna do that.
Scabs. And if they don't play on Sunday, can you imagine how much money everyone in the NBA, NFL would lose?
Yes.
If those players said, you know what, we just ain't gonna play.
We'll forfeit this game check.
You know what I'm saying?
That would take coming together.
Yeah. But my thing is, why wouldn't y'all come together? This is the perfect time to show people that, this is the perfect time to show people that, listen, man, we not all about this money.
Who's our leader nowadays?
No one. Let's be clear.
Thank you.
Don't even start trying to name somebody. None of them are.
Thank you.
Right?
Whether it's on sports
our leader, if you was a leader, you standing out and you want to make sure you step out to the forefront. A la Ali. God bless his soul. Amen. Jim Brown. They're not waiting to see who's our leader. Who's going to do I'm doing it. I'm not going to your war because I don't even know what we fighting for.
Them Viet Congs, they never did.
That's what Ali's saying. Look,
they ain't never called me that.
I would go if I know what I'm fighting for. I give y'all one this, man. We probably could wrap it up. Ask all them black people why they stand for the flag. I bet they don't even know why they stand. We're just conditioned to do it.
Since what?
Listen, when you go to school, you come in, I pledge allegiance to that. No one's told you why you're doing that.
No doubt. Since kindergarten.
No one's told you, explained to you why you standing. No one has said why you doing it.
I mean, it should be a talk because it should be conversation because people. I said it to somebody. I tweeted out today again. When you start talking about the Independence Day, that's the big thing about the American flag, Independence Day. But my grandparents, my great grandparents, they were still slaves then. They were still enslaved, so it wasn't their Independence Day.
Who independent was it?
You know what I mean?
It's just our country.
Like you said,
our land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said,
if you think about it, it's really just the land. You know, come on, man.
You've been conditioned.
We conditioned to think one way or believe certain things. Like again, since we were kids, man. Right? Then they tell us Columbus discovered America. How you discover something that's already here? Some people were here. We built on this con. We're built on this
hustle.
Yeah, we're built on that. So he took somebody else and say he discovered it.
And it was in every history book across the country.
For some people that are already here. They were here already.
It's crazy.
Just because he went to see what was on the horizon.
Hey, come on, man. Come on now. Mm-hmm. It's a shame. But like you said, man, to me that hurts
no doubt
in itself that none of these guys are gonna stand up but we all know why.
Oh, no
it's
doubt.
About I gotta protect my brand. It's about the money. And if that's what it is, that's what you're about. Listen, man. If you like it, I love it, man.
That's why.
Then go ahead, man.
That's why he told them y'all better stand up because he feel like he got to protect his brand.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's brand versus brand. Yeah. You know, so it's you got to be, you know, because I really feel, and I've said this before, we don't. I want to know who our black leaders are. We
don't have a leader.
We've taken this from basketball to history. You know,
which is great.
But it's all about life. It's all about life.
Because that. I'm glad you brought that up, my brother. The owner feels that way about us. Mm-hmm. He feels that's all y'all have.
Sports.
Look what we done gave these people today. We give them basketball history because sometimes it's not just about basketball.
Right. No doubt.
Right? But the owner saying that, he think, what you know how he feels about them players, that's really directed at the black players on the team.
No doubt.
He know the white players gonna stand up and put their hand across their charts. And I'm not racist at all. I've been around. I've loved being around all races. And I've dated all races. So listen. What I'm saying is, we can read between. We know who that's directed at.
No doubt.
So at the end of the day, in his mind, what he feels about the black players is that this is all y'all got.
And on top of all that, Birth of a Nation come out tomorrow, Friday.
Birth of a Nation.
Come on, man.
Nat Turner.
Who's our black? And that's crazy.
No,
because years ago, if somebody said who's our black player, about 20, 25, 30 years ago, we're going to point to something. You can point to somebody as soon as it rolls off somebody's tongue. When that question rolls off your tongue, you can point to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is our black leader right here. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to step up. I'm not losing this money. Well, how much money you really going to lose, bro? How much money do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Some of y'all getting 20 million, 25 million this year. Y'all made the same 20, 25 last year. How much money did you need?
And the year before that.
Cough it up. Cough it up. Cough 1 year up.
Not counting the endorsements.
Come on, bro. How much money you need, bro? That all y'all black players. Our league is 3% black. And not one of y'all gonna... Oh, my bad. Excuse me. Big up to the guys that did it on the SB. Shouts out to the guys that stood up on the SB. You picked the prime time to do that one. And I'm going to also give you one better. It wasn't their doing. It was a PR move. Mm-hmm. The PR department comes out and says this how we do. And if you know that they were reading from the teleprompter. If it's your move, you coming out from the heart. This needs to stop. I'm letting y'all know right here on this stage. I know, thank you for this award, but anyway, this needs to stop, y'all. We need to come together, all our people. I don't need no PR person to come tell me how to word it.
Yeah.
If I word it with bad grammar, then that's how I'd use it. But you gonna understand it.
I told y'all this thing about this summer is hot up in here.
Hey, this thing got spicy.
Hey,
It did.
This thing got spicy.
You guys started, because when you ask a question, you realize that somebody, I'm in tune, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm letting you know. We can talk about a lot of things. I'm in tune.
That's real.
Just like you talking about Birth of a Nation come out. They try to get that taken off there because they dug in this man's past and trying to call him some type of rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to tell you what the people are trying to do to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Certain people, they like, look, this man, whatever's in his past is in his past.
Right.
He already did 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah.
Now when you realize the biggest movies coming out, and it's about a specific thing, and it's about a specific culture. Oh, wait a minute, he was this rapist. He was a rapist when y'all did that movie what he did on the train.
The Great Debaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great debaters.
He was a rapist then, y'all. So why y'all let him go that far?
And then they try to be upset because he married to a white woman.
Come on, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in tune, man.
Hey, I see.
I'm not big on reality TV. I'm not hip. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know what happened on Love and Hip Hop.
So tell me
I
this.
definitely know what's going on.
Tell me this. What do you do to stay in tune? Why are you in tune? What?
Because you know,
What happens?
you in fear for your kids' lives, and that's the biggest thing, man. When you have kids, it's different, and your kids they don't grow up in the confines that I've grown in. They're not gonna. I could look in their eyes right now. I could look at them now. They're not gonna be as tough as we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You grew up in Chicago. You gotta be tough. You gotta be strong to grow up in there. You growing up against 4 corner hustlers. You go up against it. You gotta walk past these dudes. You have to go. You have to go. This is tough, bro. Mm-hmm. So they're not gonna be as tough. They don't even know what's coming their way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see what's coming their way.
Well, what we shielding them from?
They don't know. They don't like. Yeah, we shielding them from, but because we're trying to provide them a better life. We don't want them to grow up the way we grew up. Like I said, I don't think people should grow up in like that. But that's the way we did. I mean, that's what happened. And they don't see what's coming. Yeah. Right? Look at the presidential debate. I want them to show me another time a candidate was so less qualified and made it this far.
And
listen. If people are less qualified, but did they make it to the point where they got 1.5 feet in the door?
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing right now. You know what I'm saying? We should be up there running in too. No, seriously, because we're less qualified. Trump's no more qualified than us, man. But because he has money, he can do whatever he wants and pay for things to get done. And he can get this far, and also if he gets in the office, he's letting it be known how nasty he's gonna be with a certain race of people and cultures. And yet you got people talking about, yeah, that's what we want to hear. Like, see, it's not so much he's running; it's the fact that you people agree with this stuff. Like, y'all like, yeah, go back to old America. And I asked the people, how old you want to go back? How far are you trying to go back?
1960?
Yeah, because listen, you can go back to 80s as far as I'm concerned, because that's when I really started having an eye open to certain things and all that. But how far are you trying to go back? You going back to the 50s and 60s where we really had segregation and this, that, and the third? And so,
I think
are your kids ready for that?
No.
It's a haves and haves not. That's what they're trying to move it to. Yeah, that's what haves and have not. Look, Rafe, man, this like you said, it's gonna be a part 2.
It has to be a part 2.
It has to be. We get some more of our friends up here, man. That's all we have to do. That's what I try to do as well. Get some more of my buddies up here. Maybe they got some things to say.
Absolutely.
One last thing for me, man. Just talk about your relationship with Troy Jackson. And his passing.
Troy, a good friend of mine, man. Big Escalade. We lost a lot. We lost Flash. We lost Escalade, Alamo.
But I know that Escalade.
Escalade definitely my guy. We were close friends. We grew up playing ball with and against each other. We were the same age. Played in the park together. Spend the night at his house. Drive him to and from, pick him up. And, we just had a special bond. Through it all. Again, Escalade would, I wasn't a big church goer growing up. Escalade would take me to church. Escalade would bring me to his pastor, things of that nature. So our bond was different. And the tour, him coming on tour actually further enhance our bond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
he was happy when you was coming on.
Listen, I understand it because and I felt the same, man. It's like, I'll give you a time when we really got strong is when I didn't have a team. My 3-year contract was up with the bus and no team signed me. And I was just in New York City, just hanging out. Him and I, it wasn't so much he was aiding and abetting what we were doing. It's just that at the time, he didn't know how to come at me about, hey, listen, man, I don't want you to go back to playing. And so I was home just partying. It's October, it's November. I was in the training camp. I went to training camp with the Warriors. They cut me. They said they felt at that time that I probably was gonna impose on their future with Gilbert Arenas. I read between those lines when I got there. I definitely read between those lines because he wasn't really at that time. But I think that year he came out and showed that Gil, he is Gil. He was a tough player. So then I got waived, and all of a sudden I go back to New York. I'm like, listen, I don't know what the next move is. Your pride is in the way. You're not trying to go overseas because you just got to taste the NBA. So I'm chilling, and I'm partying, and he's coming out. And I could see one day he was like, Ray, let's again, this is S. Let's go to church, man. He thought I was gonna say no, and I said, I'm going with you. It wasn't a church. It wasn't a Sunday. It was like it was a weekday. It was at night. He said, man, let's go do this. I said, man, you know what? We're going to put the club thing aside. I'm going. And I came and he realized that night we got in the car, we just ride. He said, man, Ray, we got to stop partying, man. You got to go back. He was one of the guys that said, man, you got to go back to playing, man. You got to get in the gym. You got to get in the gym, work out, man. You can go back and do it. He said, man, if the people want you to, because at that time, my agent, Dan Fingerstein, was like, man, teams want you. They just want to see you go to the D-League. They don't know what you've been doing this last couple of months. And I gave my prize in a way, and I'm like, I'm not going to D-League. I'm not going to D-League. It's not what I'm doing. I'm going to go down there and destroy these dudes because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to destroy these dudes. These are dudes fresh out of college. And what I said happened. But if it was for Esway, I wouldn't have went back in the gym to work out and get myself ready to go back to that D-League. And when I got to the D-League, I think I almost averaged a triple-double. And I called him, I said, I told you I was going to kill these dudes. I really didn't belong down here, in 1 week. I was down there for 1 week. I played about 3 or 4 games. I think I was like 19 points, 9 boards, 9 assists. And they called me straight up to the, some of that nature. And they called me right up. But, our bond was special. His family knew it. My family knew it. When I was out the league, we hung out every day. Mm-hmm. There wasn't one day that we didn't hang out, especially that time when I was out the league. We hung out every day. And I was in China when I got the call, and I left right away. To go make sure I be there for the funeral. That was history, man.
Yeah, man.
We buried a good friend. And Troy, the thing about what people understand about him, especially that whole and one group, man, is when he spoke for all the entire group. So you know, like the leaders, because we had our times with and one that things. I mean, listen, man. Big shout out to the group that had and one back then to all the people, man, we work with. Big up to those guys because they paid us a lot of money for 3 months of Globetrotter basketball. Let's be clear. It was nothing strenuous. You know, we were having a fun. We would go to cities. We would get treated like rock stars. I mean, we had, I forgot what city I went to. And we had women throwing panties at us like, yo, we looking at them like we had girls trying to get on a tour bus. Because the tour bus had beds on it. Yeah, so we had people like, yo, how'd you get on it? Get your dog. And we would treat like rock stars, and we were getting paid. They took care of us, and we had guys that just had to show their rear end to these people. We had dudes going to hotels about, I don't want to be in this hotel unless I have a refrigerator in my room. And we sitting there like, yo, there's a vending machine on the damn. That's what they got, vending machines on the third floor. What's wrong? And the people, we just wore out our welcome year after year, and then after a while, the people had enough of us. Yeah. But when Troy Jackson spoke, he spoke for the whole entire team, man. And that's what people, till this day, if they could do it all again, they would let Troy go ahead and speak for us and do what he had to do. Because that's the kind of guy Troy was.
I think about maybe like 2 months ago, it was during the summertime, you and I spoke. And I said, man, somebody has to do a 30 for 30 on the N1 mixtape tour. How it came about. Because these kids don't even understand. It's coming back a little bit. Mm-hmm. I see Professor, Bone Collector.
But they doing things with Ball Up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, but the whole street ball thing is still...
Yeah, they're keeping that part of it. Like, see, again, I can admit what we were. That's why you're always going to hear me say, we were a modern day Globetrotter. So that's a big respect, because I remember the Globetrotters, like, yo, dog, Metal Lock Lemon, please throw confetti on me. Like, I remember going to the game, like, yo, dog, they ain't throw confetti on me, I gotta go the next time and get the confetti thrown on me, bro. I gotta go the next time. Yo, I don't feel like a true fan if they don't throw the water on me or they trick me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were. And when we went to certain cities, that's how those fans were. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how these people were when we walked in those parks and those, then we went to the arena. So we was packing out parks. I remember we went to Detroit, they put us in this big old park. That park, they please had to shut this park down, man. To the point where, I don't know if you was there, we had to have a water fight. We started having a water fight because it was so hot in the park. The game was so much fun, but after the game, we're like, man, forget it, man. And everybody joined in.
This is before Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. Could you imagine how big them dudes would have been?
Yeah, so we did a lot of stuff, man. We was in LA, we on Venice Beach, where people go on Venice Beach every day. But this particular day, you have to pay a fee to come on the feet, and they paid it.
It was special, man. It was a special time, man. That's
and this is what I'm saying. So I knew what we were. We were a modern day Globetrotter, and now you look at Ball Up and so like, listen, y'all a modern day us. Yeah. But they want to act like they're doing something so different. And it's like I tell these kids now when they wear their tight clothes. We wore tight clothes in 85 and 86. You know what they were called then? 14 slim and 16 regular. That's what they was called. Our parents went to the store and bought us 14 slim jeans and 16 regular. And they fit us tight. I could show you a New Edition album cover. They had the same gold chain that y'all wear today, right? Them little gold chains, and they had tight clothes on. That's just how our clothes fitted us. That's how our clothes fit us back then. And now y'all think y'all reinvented the wheel. Yeah. Y'all not doing nothing different.
I mean, when snapbacks first came back, they like, oh, you rock a snapback.
We used to put them to the side. We did that already. And start breakdancing our snapback. I would remember breakdancing and throw my snapback into the people in the crowd. And they throw it back. I catch it on my head and finish my little move. And I'll walk off in the sunset.
Hey, man, that's in the podcast, man. Rafer out here breakdancing,
come on, bro. Hey, I was with a breakdancing crew in 83, 84. Floor Rockers. Because every member of the group did something on the floor. I did the back spin, you might do the hand spin, he might do the head spin on that cardboard.
They don't know nothing about
you
that.
Go to the corner, you put the big Radio Raheem jukebox on the dumpster, and you din 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 din, and you rock it out there.
Hey, hold. Boy, hey, we got. Come on, we gotta get in there before we.
Remember you take my head, act like you ate the head. Like, go. All this stupid stuff.
Classic, man.
And you go to some, shout out to the Asians, they really keep the breakdancing group stuff alive. Shout out to the Asians, because if you ever go to some techno club, the Asians still breakdancing, pop rock and stuff, man.
Hey, listen.
Man, great
Rafer,
episode, man.
Man, the
Thank you
time
for
that
coming.
you spent, man, this has been incredible. We will have a part 2 because this one right here, man, we gonna get some fit. This damn near, this our longest one.
Yeah, we in 2 hours.
It's
man.
real.
I ain't gonna lie, it's funny. I've been talking. I'm looking at the clock like, man, it's my son's
Some
birthday.
birthday, yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
make it up to him tomorrow. He probably in bed now, man. I feel bad, man.
Man, y'all hear that?
His son's birthday,
that's
man.
a-
I gotta make it up to him,
We
though.
appreciate y'all listening in. We gonna let Rafer get up out of here, but we got more to come. We told y'all this thing is all about the summer. It's hot up in here. We're gonna keep it going. We got something to
No,
bring.
literally.
We got. Oh, that's cold. Hey, we got some of the hottest content,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
some of the hottest names in the game,
No doubt.
More coming.
in the industry. That's what it is. So we're gonna sign out. We appreciate y'all, and we're gonna holler at you soon.
Man, thanks for coming, Ray.
You got it.
Oh,
That was
man.
big time.
Just get up
Your
out
wife,
of
I know y'all gotta zip my bag. I gotta take something to my son.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta act like you made it for him for his birthday. I'm going with the biggest lie.
Open that bell
I'm
call.
about to go on with the biggest lie. They was baking cookies. For you, I told him I can't leave until they get you the cookies.